Good day, Father Matt Williams here in my parked car. I hope you're well. And guess what? It's snowing. Isn't that wonderful? It's snowing. Okay. Yesterday, we talked about prayer. And we said that if we want to be a saint, we need to desire prayer like the air that we breathe. If you didn't have air, you wouldn't be alive. You'd die. Guess what? If you don't have prayer, you will die as a Christian. Look at this quote from Father John Hardin, the wonderful Jesuit. May he rest in peace. For being a believer is no guarantee of remaining a believer. Think about that. Being a believer is no guarantee of remaining a believer. And here's what he's getting at in his little reflection here about prayer. Beautiful reflection about prayer. He's saying that we are creaturely. We are creaturely. And our first instinct is to think earthly, not heavenly, not supernaturally. He would say that heaven is a supernatural grace. Heaven is a divine grace that God gives us. God reveals himself to us. He reveals to us what heaven is like. He reveals to us who his Father, Jesus reveals to us who his Father is, right? We don't know and understand heaven by nature. We know and understand heaven by revelation. God reveals himself to us. He communicates himself to us. And faith is our believing and embracing that sacred reality. So Father Hardin is saying that as creatures, our first orientation isn't heaven, it's earth. And we are human beings living in this world. But we are created for something greater than this world. We're creating for eternal life. And our desires are infinite. Our desires are infinite. However, it takes a grace from God to reveal to us what these desires are for, what we're truly wired for. We don't by nature understand heaven. We don't by nature understand that God's a Trinity. That takes a revelation. That takes a grace of God. And it takes a grace of God to live for heaven. It takes a grace of God to live for God every single day. It takes a grace of God to always know whose we are, we're God's, and who we are, his beloved children. God is a Father. He sent his Son through the power of the Spirit. We become children of God. That is who our God is, and that's who we are. Our God is love. We are his beloved children. It takes a grace to know that and live that. So here's the first aspect in prayer, that every day we have to beg God. We have to beg God. We have to beg God that we can always know who we are, whose we are, and what we are created for, heaven. We need to beg God for the grace to live for heaven and not to get pulled down into the reality of a sinful, broken world. We are created for so much more than this world, and we are called to walk with Jesus every day to bring his light, his love, his truth, his mercy, his justice into the world. Remember, being a believer is no guarantee of remaining one. Start praying. Pray every day and beg God for the grace to live for heaven every moment of every day. God bless you.